I never thought my worst nightmares would have come to life by watching the Chelsea versus Southampton game. It was a completely spineless, gutless display of football, and it looked like a team with no cohesion. And I think a lot of the fans have made their voice very clear that they do not want Graham Potter. But unfortunately for the fans, their worst nightmare and the people that are blocking this sort of hope of happening is the owner. Because, sad to say it, the owner has somehow responded back to thinking that he still has the full backing. This really cannot continue any longer. This has to be a crime at some point. Now, all these new signings that have come in, people will think, oh, it's a headache for the manager to pick and choose who goes into his 11. But he's not really doing anything to actually tactically change the style of play, who actually goes into what position in whatever formation he plays. I don't even know what really is the reason for this. There's no evidence I've seen this team improve under him, regardless of who he picks. So what are we keeping him for? I have no idea. I'm going to be really honest with you. Ever since Todd Bowley's ownership come in, I've not been impressed with him. He's kind of really done things that really I don't see many football club owners do. When he came in, he got rid of the old board. He didn't really set out his new board until the summer, so he's kind of like taken over the whole transfer business and all. And even now today, like even with the new signings coming in, none of these new signings gel together. I don't see any cohesion or style of play, even with the new players in. But why would you keep Graham Potter to do that? He's not experienced. He doesn't have top level management under his belt. So what is it for? I don't understand it. So yeah, this is a really, really concerning news for Chelsea fans. I'm really angry with this decision. But yeah, let's have a look at this report because I feel like reading this is just gonna put my fist against the screen. So yeah, here we go. The Blues have won just 2 of their past 14 games in all competition and were beaten 1-0 by Premier League strugglers Southampton on Saturday. Hence, they're bottom of the league. Potter was appointed in September following the sacking of Thomas Tuchel. However, Chelsea owners have made it clear that hiring Potter was part of a long-term project. Well, I'm going to tell you something, Todd Bowley. I'm not even halfway through that article and there's a few things I want to address. Chelsea was successful for not giving managers time and always focusing on results. That's part of Chelsea's success and what we were built up for. So for you to sit there and think that I'm going to wait and give a manager time to fail, that's not acceptable. And no Chelsea fan is going to accept that. Football's not a waiting game or a time to be patient to think that we're going to get results. The time I'll be patient for you to give someone a 5-year contract to fail, it's probably going to lead them to relegation at this point, the way we're playing and the way we were beaten by a 20th place team. Yeah? Football is a results-given game. You don't get results as a manager, you're out the door. Plain and simple. There's nothing more blunt for me to say anything like that. And the way you're running this club is disgraceful. So yeah, continuing on with the article, I mean, they talk about Chelsea's unprecedented injury crisis or whatever. Personally, I don't think that's any excuse or any reason for these performances, but ignoring that, let's focus on this bit, which does actually very much concern me. So, Paul's future at Stamford Bridge will not be determined by success in the Champions League this season or the team's ability to qualify for European football next season. Although it is accepted Saturday's result was not good enough, Southampton are bottom of the Premier League table. It is felt there are encouraging signs at the club. And it also explains that Potter left Brighton and he signed a 5-year contract with Chelsea. So yeah, it seems like to me that there is absolutely no performance clause in Graham Potter's contract for the 5 years he's signed this contract for. I'm just lost for words, really. It's so speechless to me to actually think that the standards of this club will decline this much from what, as Chelsea fans, we are used to for the success under Roman Abramovich's tenure of his ownership. Every manager at Chelsea, from where I was a fan, would always have a performance clause in their contract. So if they don't get Champions League football, you're out the door. If you don't win a trophy, you're out the door. It's plain and simple for a successful big club in Europe to do that. So what he's kind of shown me is giving me the signs that we are just a club progressively going down and just getting worse every single game. This is not acceptable. I pretty much have no desire of even watching Chelsea at this point. I could pretty much tell every single week watching Graham Potter manage this club, it's just going to be the same predictable performance every single time. He's certainly not getting the best out of this team. And I also feel like Chelsea fans need to up the noise as well. Really, really put pressure on the manager and the owner, because we need to sort of make sure that this club does not fall down a slippery slope that many clubs have went through and not been successful at doing this sort of process, time-based decision making at this club. We need a decision making in this club that focuses on results and puts pressures on the manager to actually do well. If they're just here just for a lousy paycheck and just there to feel comfortable, that's not acceptable. And yeah, that's about it. See you later.